Hold on, we're gonna get real professional here. We're going into my inventory. Where is it? What's it called? What's the BCC Pugna set?
I have no idea.
Dude, we're doing this right now. Oh, we got it. Netherlord's Regalia. Gift wrap item.
All right, this is some professional betting, boys.
All right, gift sent. We're going back on in. Juggernaut has been picked up. I'm gonna get so reported for that. All right, so VGR, you clearly know more about what's going down here. What are they looking for the last pick?
Okay, so if we think that Mirana's gonna be in the mid lane, most likely will be happening, they need an off lane. They need someone who's gonna be like tanky enough to buy space for Luna and Mirana, both heroes. They don't have the most amazing health pool, so the go-to hero would probably be something like the Titanda. The Titanda is a decent hero against the Juggernaut in the lane because it's very tanky. The Disruptor is considered one of like the better heroes against the Titan in the mid game, just because the Static Storm you can't really crack and shell purge that off, as it just keeps on silencing, it keeps on reapplying. But either way, the Titan is a very good hero. I mean, Mechanism early on is always good for your team, so I expect that or the Bat Rider. I mean, Bat Rider would also be pretty nice. The only downside is that you can cancel the Bat Rider's blink with the lasso, sorry, with the glimpse from the Disruptor. And laning wise, it's very difficult to lane against the Juggernaut. So I would put my money on the Titan between those two heroes.
Yeah, I think Tidehunter offers a lot of stability, a lot of team fight, and there is already plenty of damage coming out between the Luna, the Mirana, and heck, even the Elder Titan with those thumps can do a decent chunkage. So I'm inclined to agree with you here. I'm also just terrified to disagree with you now because I've only got one more BCC Pugna set to give away.
Don't want to get them away.
Yeah, I know. You gotta save those. They're valuable. Either way, let's talk a bit about IG's lineup here. Like you mentioned, they're going for more of that mid-game fighting-oriented lineup. This time, we're going to see Juggernaut put in that safe lane role, as Invoker is going to take up the mid. How's that going to differentiate the playstyle?
Um, Honestly, I like the Juggernaut in the safe lane position a little bit more. In the mid lane, it's pretty much just like a space creator. You have that Omni Slash that you use, and then you try to become an aggressive hero. But it feels like when Juggernaut gets a lot of farm dedicated to him in the safe lane position, he's able to do a little bit more. And Invoke in the mid lane is always going to be an amazing hero. You have the Disruptor who can set up for Sunstrike with the kinetic field as well. Not the best setup, but it does work out usually. And Invictus Gaming, they still need an offlaner, so they're also going to be looking to go for one of those initiating heroes. The slot are getting banned out, so that is not going to be a possibility. But there's still multiple heroes that they can go for. It kind of seems like it may just be a trade-off with like the Bat Rider Tide, because that's like two of the only heroes that's still left in the pool. All right, denied. Templar Assassins, so they're gonna go from Mirana offlane actually.
I really like this. I think you've got the combination, you've got the arrow setup, so an offlane that's typically going to be very dangerous for the Mirana now becomes a place where she can shine. She can land some clutch arrows, she can do the damage, and hopefully just get her levels to be able to go and find space for that Aghanim Scepter. So I'm liking what Vici Gaming are doing. IG on their last pick here, they're a bit strapped for time as they already ate up a bunch of their reserve time. They still need an offlaner of their own, and there's been a lot of them banned out. I mean, Slardar, Darkseer, taken out of the pool, Beastmaster, Void, so they're not working with a big old pool of meta heroes.
Yeah, I expect VGR to go for an aggressive lane with the Luna. It's actually pretty good. Like here in the Trident situation, obviously the Shadow Demon as well as the Elder Titan is insane laning support, so they should be having a pretty decent time in an aggressive lane up against the Juggernaut. And it is going to be a Magnus offlane versus the Mirana, so a kind of even matchup. I mean, Mirana doesn't really have the greatest right click damage, so he should not be like balling out of control completely. But if you remember the last series where we saw Mirana offlane, I mean that hero did a lot of work in that game. So maybe we see a repeat of that.
A lot of work, I think, to say the least. I think IG might still be a little bit triggered about what happened to them with that Magnus, but they're going to go in now on the offensive. They got that Jug Magnus combo for themselves. I'm eager to see what they're going to do with it, because again, they do have a lot of zoning potential. They've got that Disruptor. You go in, you trap a couple heroes in that kinetic field. Oh golly, PowerPoints. You there?
Yeah. Hey.
Oh,
What?
okay. Just making sure my internet didn't drop again. I'm so violent right now. Like I'm usually a very calm person, but I was on the phone with Comcast for like an hour and 45 minutes earlier, And that has changed me fundamentally as an individual. Now we're going to have a deep rotation here. Baboka just kind of gliding on through those trees. Is going to be rolling on away. Was able to plant a nice ward as he went. And that's going to be a pretty deep ward there. We'll scout out a lot of the vision coming out from VGR. So making sure they know when the supports are rotating, when they're pulling and whatnot. So going to be a decent start for IG in terms of their vision game. Let's see what happens in terms of runes.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, IG, they pretty much seemingly put like their money on that, like that big one team fight ultimate you get off with the RP, and obviously we saw that in the last series where Magnus RP into a Juggernaut Omnislash is pretty much always going to be able to grant you like at least like 2-3 kills just like instantly. So it's very difficult for the side of VGR to play into. However, they do have what it takes to at least save one hero. If the Shadow Demon just sits in the back lines and disrupts whoever is like most important getting jumped on, they should be able to play around it. The Elder Titan can also go for an Echo Stomp, so I think VGR has multiple ways to play around it. And Mikasa on the TA, I mean, you know, Refraction doesn't get, that makes him not get hit by that Omnislash as well, so they have multiple ways to just not die instantly, not lose like 5 players, just like bam, dead.
All right, so Rune Split going to go for that 1-for-1. Juggernaut actually grabbing it up for the side of IG, so that safe laner getting a bit of space for himself. Now, we do have a bit of PowerPoint rocking out here, courtesy of Perfect Roll, but hopefully that sorts itself through. We're going to have Invoker matching up against TA in the mid. How's that going to fare?
It's usually a TA favorite lineup, honestly, because TA has a lot more right click damage. But like once the Invoker does have his like Force Spirit Cold Snap combo up and working, it's gonna be kind of even. And obviously Invoker, man, Immortal, he's gonna win that lane.
We got to roll on in up top. Elder Titan in some trouble there. There is going to be an arrow flying in. Oh gosh, the PowerPoint is so strong, and it looks like the first blood will end up falling. One more hit does get the job done. Disruptor actually taking the credit for that one, killing off the Elder Titan. So after first blood here, that does give us an opportunity to go through and reconnect without missing a whole lot of action. You take the wheel here.
Alright, that's going to be a little bit unfortunate losing the Elder Titan. He was in the lane, which is something we don't see too often happening, as they're going to be running a dual lane in the top lane, having the Elder Titan with the Mirana. Bottom lane, it will be Shadow Demon Luna, so they valued E&D on the Luna getting a little bit more farm, and they don't want to run that aggressive lane, even though that's what I expected them to do. But definitely, I mean, Yang just helping the Mirana lane a little bit. He's going to be trying to do something as long as he doesn't give up any more health.
Oh, well, there's a roll on in. It looks like he might get stuck again. Goes for the stomp, the aggressive here. They land the arrow onto Baboka. Looks like he will end up falling. Now they're looking to turn onto the Disruptor as well. Do they have the raw damage for it? Can they get one more hit? The Fairy Fire eaten up, but he's trapped into a corner here. Yang able to go through and get the job done. So in the end, 2 kills end up going back in favor of VGR. So first blood given away, but certainly some bounties gained back in return.
Yeah, you should always fear the baby rattle, man, as he hits very hard.
Dude, I miss the stapler. I don't like the baby rattle. I genuinely miss the stapler. Alright, so mid lane in terms of overall farm here, it looks like TA getting a slight advantage here as Invoker just really not been able to find anything. TA with those denies, and Invoker just a little bit of mistiming. Up top, God, the blood does not stop flowing here. Baby Rattle falling back to the grave, and FY left to his own devices, looking for something here, has the leap if things get too hairy. The Juggernaut diving deep for this one, starting up that Tanko, and going to be farming underneath an aggressive tower, so FY having some fun. Looks like they will go in, will try to land an arrow. They've got it ready. Can they get the job done? The stomp coming out, they're waiting here for the connect. There's the arrow to follow up. Nice short range point blank arrow. They get the roll in. The kinetic field to hold everyone in place. FY now going to be looking to go onto Baboka, making the space here as he waddles his way through the trees. Is going to get trapped in. That's an Elder Titan sandwich. An Elder Titan going through. Will find himself his second kill of the game. So this top lane has just been non-stop. Meanwhile, bottom completely sacked by IG. They are just not giving a hoot about this Luna.
I mean, the thing is, VGR is actually pretty much winning that lane, and they're fighting 2 against 3, so it is very much working out in their favor, as the Luna is getting complete free farm in the bottom lane. Shadow Demon is getting a lot of levels just by pulling and, you know, getting some lasteds himself. He's sitting on 9 lasteds, so pretty much having the same that the Magnus has in the jungle. So overall, I mean, VGR, they're just winning the laning stages off of this, as long as they can just keep not losing more than they gain in that offlane.
Alright, roll back in. Man, this Earth Spirit, he's just got a green light and won't quit. There is going to be a decent chunk of damage coming in. The arrow does connect onto Baboka. Maybe he trades his life for this again. Oh, the stomp coming out. Looks like there will be enough space created, but Mirana just manning up, taking 2 out. So they will lose the Elder Titan, but getting a bunch here for the Kitty Cat, and that's going to be IG falling slowly behind in terms of kills. It seems like every time Earth Spirit goes in on the aggressive here, he ends up losing his life here. He's 1 and 3. So there's just nonstop fountains of blood squirting out in this top lane. Who ends up coming out on top of this? Is it always Mirana because she's able to farm and hasn't gone down yet?
I mean, that was a 3-for-1 trade, so that is definitely in favor of the side of VGR. But honestly, the thing is, Yang, he was so patient with that Echo Stomp as well. He waited for the spin to end, and he had, what, like 10 HP when he actually got that Echo Stomp off, and then just, like, instantly 3 kills to the side of Mirana. So I'm very happy Mirana coming back to the base, pretty much grabbing, like, full face boots, and even still has enough money to buy, like, a what's it called, a completed Ring of Aquila soon as well. So that's an early start, very much in favor of Mirana. If you see the net worth already, you do have VGR being 3 people ahead.
That's going to be a cute little disruption going in. The arrow does connect, so they've got that Shadow Team and Mirana combo. I mean, she is just merciless here, now asserting her dominance as a core here. She started out in the off lane, but she's basically got safe lane farm at this point. Going to be sitting not that high in terms of last hits, but net worth. I mean, she's right up there with the free farming Luna. It seems like IG not really distributing the resources in the most appropriate way, because free farming Luna in itself should just strike fear into your bones.
Yeah, Luna is going to be going for like that early fighting item, looking like we will see a Dragonlance coming out from the Luna as well. So that's a nice item, just making him able to fight as early as possible. And Vici, I mean, if they could just keep having this Mirana gain a lot of farm, get like that early Academy Scepter build up as well, then the mid game is going to be pretty terrifying. Like, even if you have that Magnus RP combo, then unless you get that beautiful RP off, then it's
Board Spirit's doing a lot of work. It looks like Mikasa might actually be in some trouble, is able to pop off the refraction, and the TP in from Baboka is going to be a little bit late to go through and follow up. So in the end, Ana able to get a nice spook in there, clenching a little bit hard, but Mikasa is going to be just fine.
yeah, that's like the best way you get kills is an invoke.
Connection lost.
they got the tier 2 tower taken. So not too much happening, but VGR still just putting a lot of pressure, getting all of these early towers. The Luna has rotated to the top lane, and they're looking to go even more aggressive than they already were in like previously.
Oh! The RP completely whiffed in the mid lane. There's going to be a stomp. It will connect onto the Magnus. It looks like that's going to be a free getaway for the TA, though. Looking to just hop right on through. She's going to get bashed up. She's going to get stunned up, silenced up. But do they have the raw damage? Earth Splitter coming out from the Titan really wants to get something done here. But the Omni coming back on through. Mikasa's going to eat a lot of it with those refraction charges. That's going to be another kill coming out. The Luna dropping the bombs here. It's going to be a lot of damage coming out. They do lose the TA in the end, but they are able to take out the Jug and its support. And it looks like we're not even done with the action here as Earth Spirit waddling away. This is going to be a roll down for him. And that's going to be taking some tower shots. There will be a Sunstrike elsewhere on the map. Not going to be doing the work here, but FY finally goes down. That's a mega kill streak. That's going to be almost 800 gold to the Magnus. That is a successful fight. Overall, going to be about 1,000 gold going in favor of IG, and that doesn't even catch out the whole fight.
So, zoning RP in the end. Just making them think that they would lose the fight, but in the end they're still going to be managing to find what they were looking for. The TA got killed, the Mirana got killed, the Mirana who has so far been, you know, unstoppable, so that is a very big kill bounty going to the side of IG, and they didn't even have to rotate around, they just got jumped in, and then they won the fight anyways.
Alright, so going back on him, we've got stomps coming out every which way, so that's IG asserting a little bit of dominance. And again, people might be criticizing IG for saying, you know what, they picked that Jug Magnus lineup and not really getting off the clutch combos, but we saw in that LGD game previously, all it takes is one really amazing RP into Omni to get the job done, to get this momentum swinging. In terms of overall net worth, there is still a decent spike for VGR, XP a little bit closer, but it's certainly not a one game either way. Now there is going to be QD, maybe caught out of position, is able to spin, dodging out that stomp, will get back to safety, but VGR still very much in a commanding position of the map.
Yeah, they're just taking control of the map, and the big difference we have like in this series compared to the last one is the fact that Juggernaut is insanely underfarmed at this point. He's sitting pretty much like 3,000 gold below the Luna. Mirana is actually out farming him at this point, and that's the offlane on the side of VGL, so they are very far behind. They need to be just picking up a little bit of farm for themselves. Magnus does have his Blame Dagger completed now, so that is going to be one item they can use to at least try and put some pressure on, as I guess the next RP is going to be like the go-to comeback from IG just to try and get a little bit back in the game.
Oh, over here we are going to see FY going a bit deep for this. The Moonlight Shadow comes out. There is going to be a dust here. So FY completely reeled. He's going to get silenced up so he can't leap away. This could be huge here. They get the kinetic field. He's going to leap over the fence and will be taking that magnetized. Looks like he might still end up falling here, trying to TP out, but will end up going down. That's another big kill in the Mirana. Baboka may have to trade his life for this. Takes the Meld Strike, takes the tower shots, and it looks like the Earth Spirit does end up going down in the end. We've got the Radiant still looking to be the aggressors here, wrapping around. You do have the Luna sitting on that ulti. And, well, maybe looking to go and dish out the damage. Can she catch up to the Dire Heroes, though? The Stomp coming out will be completely whiffed, but they do know that 4 Dire Heroes are in the mix. Now, Shadow Demon strolling on through, maybe trying to go for the bait. The disruption will be set up. They do have the, Omni coming out, and that's going to be Shadow Demon going in. Is going to be alive still. There's going to be the Static Storm coming out, but no field to lock him in place. So it looks like Shadow Demon will fight to his very last breath. He's still alive from this one. May end up going down to melee creeps, and it looks like the finally the Invoker will finish him off with that Sunstrike. But in the end, still probably worthwhile. I don't know. Losing that Mirana was just a bit too costly.
Yeah, and it almost felt like IG actually didn't commit enough, because the Magnus had this RP blink ready to go for the kill onto the Mirana, so I don't think they had to commit, like they don't have to lose the Earth Spirit. But I guess if you have to trade something away, losing the Earth Spirit from Mirana is still going to be worth it. It just comes down to what they can get from that RP, because it feels like XSS is actually just holding on to it, because he knows that he needs to get a big RP off. He can't just settle with like one quick kill at this point, because they're just so far behind.
Alright, so now we've got the, once again, Psionic Trap doing some work. Ana is going to be cut out here. I don't think there's really any way he gets out. They do get a really nice stun in. Baboka running in, making the plays. They are going to bring the Disruptor as well. There is going to be a glimpse back into the kinetic field. Mikasa is going to get pumped down. It does take a full RP from the Magnus, but that's going to be a nice kill. Earth Splitter coming out, the Magnetize rocking through, as DDC could be in some trouble. They do have FY there, dunking down those Star Storms, and that will be a dead Earth Spirit, but this Magnetize still rolling in. You've got everything going very, very low. Magnus should end up losing his life here. He's waiting for the skewer up to the high ground, but it won't come out. They lose the TA, they lose the Shadow Demon, but they do get 3 in return. Unfortunately, not the 3 they would have liked.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that was IG just, seeing blood pretty much. They got the kill onto Mikasa and then they just wanted to continue getting more and more kills. But the thing is, they used RP, they didn't have the Disruptor Static Storm available, so going for more kills at that point is pretty much futile and they end up losing 3 people instead. So just being a little bit too overconfident about what they could do and what they could pull off. Which is going to be good for VGR. They get a little bit of gold return to them. They're still going to be in a lead. The Luna's still going to be like insanely farmed, sitting on Yasha, Dragonlance, almost having a completed BKB as well. So this Luna is going to be pretty much one-man army at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Luna carries so well into the late game. She's already up, she's already fighting, she hasn't died yet. The Mirana had probably the most ideal start I've ever seen on a Mirana, and I can't doubt FY God. Like, I'm just not allowed to. But it seems like maybe just a little bit of overconfidence coming out from this hero means that those last 2 deaths have been huge bounties given away.
Yeah, he is still getting well on the way to getting that Academy set and needing 15 or more goals. So if he gets it like pre-20 minutes, it's still going to be an amazing timing considering he's an offlaner in this game. So I don't think he's going to be too hurt about it, especially because Mikasa is still scaling well into the game. He has that blink deck available. We'll go for the Desolator very soon as well. And Luna, like we talked about, like insane amounts of farm on this guy. So FY is just, buying space for his team at this point. He doesn't have to be like the big man carry at this point anyways.
Oh, dust popped out. They're not going to get vision onto DDC, so this Shadow Demon has been playing like he's got a heart of Tarrasque. I mean, he's just all up in enemy territory. Little does he know that everyone's all up next to him here in terms of Radiant Vision. They do get some vision onto this rotation in, but I mean, he's just been so confident here and hasn't really been punished. The Shadow Demon, he's 1, 2, and 5, so he's been helping more than he's hurting.
Yeah, the only way they can stop him from using his spells as well is like committing ultimates from the side of IG. They have the Static Storm they need to use or the RP. Because like even though you have a stun from Baboka, you can see the stun coming, so you can use a disruption like defensively when you see the stun flying out to you. So it should be pretty easy for the Shadow Demon to survive in most cases.
All right, so looking at the overall balance of net worth, it's going to be about a 7,500 lead for VGR, but they haven't really accelerated anything in the last 6-7 minutes. I mean, how do they actually get up there, start taking a commanding lead, an insurmountable lead? Is it off the back of the Luna, or can they do it with big old team fights with the Titan and the Mirana?
Okay, despite the lag coming out, they're just waiting at this point because they have the BKB that just got finished by the Luna. That's one of the 3 items they're waiting for being completed before they want to like go for a big team fight. The other 2 is going to be the Mirana's Axe and the Desolator for the Templar Assassin. So they're just going to be like using a little bit of time just AFK farming. They know that they are farming a little bit faster than IG if they are just like all being like left alone in each of their lane. So they don't really mind just dragging it on further, as they know Juggernaut is in a very difficult position right now. He doesn't have his Battle Fury up, and he has that Yasha, so his farming isn't really going to be that amazing, and he's still, well, nearly 4,000 gold behind the Luna, even though he has that Magnus buffing him up.
Are you lagging on the game too?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure it's not me. After my woes with Comcast, I can never be too sure it's not on my end, but this seems like a perfect world issue. Give it a little bit of time to work itself out. Now down bottom, there is going to be a kill onto this tower. They do bring in the Forge Spirits from the Invoker, so able to get a little bit of control over the Radiant Jungle, a little bit more control over the Roche Pit. Actually surprised the Roshan hasn't been a key objective yet. No team really focusing attention on that. And now tier 2 fallen out as the Radiant make a rotation up for this. Looks like after this fight we may have to reconnect. There will be a Spirit coming on through, looking for a stomp. The Moonlight Shadow coming out. So it looks like BGR want to be on the aggressive here. You've got the Juggernaut with that Omni Slash at the ready, looking for the prime opportunity off the back of the Magnus. Could be coming out quite soon. The arrow will go through, will not connect onto anyone, and that does reveal that the Mirana is waiting in the wings, looking for something here. The Earth Spirit, little does he know, is right up on the cliff, scouting out everyone. Could land the Magnetize of his life, but instead just going to sit back, show some restraint, and oh, glimpse back in. That's going to be FY. Just getting some nice creeps for herself and leaping back on out. So nothing really gained, nothing lost. Hopefully we have enough time to reset here and reconnect to the server. You take the wheel, man.
Yeah, I'm also trying to reconnect, man. No one is left. No one is left there. Anyways, I guess at this point, both teams are just trying to find that like 1 or 2 pickoffs so they can go for that Roshan you talked about earlier. But the thing is, on the side of VG, they know that they cannot go for the Roshan unless they have a couple of people dead on the side of IG, because the Roshan, like that area to fight when you have RP, when you have Earthspirit rolling around, and when you have Disruptors, Static Storm as well, that is like the ideal place for them to make a turnaround fight happen. So that's why VG, they know that they cannot just like walk in and try and contest it. They need to get kills before that happens.
All right, I am back in. The stream looks smooth and buttery, and we are all ready to get back in with this next big team fight. In terms of overall kills, VGR still have a lead, but again, all it takes is one nice RP into Omni, drop a deafening blast and some meatballs on top of that, and you got yourself a big old meal of VGR heroes. So we'll see what's going to go down, as there will be a full group up, a full smoke up from VGR. They really want to get something done here. Whether they go in for the Roshan or for the kills is yet to be determined.
Yeah, they have those item timings I was talking about, the Axe, the Desolate, and that BKB and the Luna, so now they're going to be feeling pretty confident going for a fight. Mikasa's going to be, well, I guess, baiting a little bit in the mid lane. Maybe he's going to be baiting just right, as they are going to be looking to go.
Oh, the Mud Golem eats the arrow. Do they have any vision here? They know there's a Ghost Walk up, and it looks like they're not going to get anything done. Meanwhile, Juggernaut able to go through with that Omni, taking out Mikasa like you talked about. And it looks like VGR, they're just split apart. They're getting herded like little cattle here. The sheepdogs of IG are doing it. There will be a stun coming out as Luna drops the Eclipse for this one. Eclipse is going to be ending there, as they won't be able to get anything else out of it. But Ana already dropping, so it's going to be a mid for a mid so far. And looks like VGR are in a bit of a better position to stay in and continue to pressure.
Yeah, that was a little bit confusing, honestly, because it felt like Mikasa was just trying to bait in the mid lane, and it worked out. I mean, they all jumped him, but then VGR, they continued walking through the jungle and trying to find, I guess, Juggernaut farming the camps or something, which just, gave away Mikasa. But they turn around, they get a kill onto the Invoker, so it is going to be an even trade in the end.
Now there is going to be tower pressure coming out. Luna pushing pretty hard. She's got that Manta debuting, and there's going to be some defensive disruptions just to get more illusions coming out. So we've got Mirana sitting back. We just got too many cats here on BGR, I think, is the problem. And now there will be a nice little Starstorm going in, killing off the Earth Spirit. With all these fancy cosmetics and immortals, I can't tell the difference between Luna's fancy Lucent Beam and Mirana's fancy Starstorm, because they just look too crazy. I mean, I guess Luna's is gold, so that should help out. But
it should help out, and the fact that Starstorms, they fly like crazy, double Starstorm, that's a lot of like beams coming down from the end in like one quick little thing.
Yeah, man, but like when I just see the Luna, or rather the Mirana jump in, go for that Starstorm, I'm just like, oh, Luna dropped an ult, and it's like, nope, wrong cat lady, wrong beams falling from the sky. So too many Moon Princesses coming out is basically the moral of the story. But either way, the Moon Princess is rotating towards that Roche pit. There is going to be arrow connecting as they do get out of rotation in. Oh, jump in! That's going to be the right cat lady for the job. They do get it done with the Starstorm from the Veranda. There's going to be a tornado coming in. The meatball drop in, but the BKB from the Luna is going to be debuted here. There's going to be a 4-staff away from the Magnus. The dust coming out as they do reveal the Moonlight Shadow coming in. Oh, there's a Lucent Beam taking out the Juggernaut. Now they've lost a big component of their damage. They're looking for more here. Are they able to get anything done here? There's going to be more damage coming out. The Stomp helping out. Elder Titan now on a killing spree. So this Roshan is 100% BGRs if they want it. They do get down everyone they wanted. They fished their wish. Now they're going to go and take an Aegis for their troubles.
Yeah, that was beautifully executed by the side of VG. They used that Roshan attempt to just bait out IG because they knew they were going to come from this area. They threw out the scanner, they spotted them out with the scan, so then they just like set it up with the arrows, set it up with that double Starstorm into an Earth Spreader, and then, winning a small fight as well as getting that Roshan. So that's going to be VG in a very dominating position right now. As the item timings we're talking about later, it's not like they stop scaling any further, because now Luna has a completed Mantis style, just picked up a casual Hammer of the Dominator as well. The Mirana is going to be getting close to the next item. I'm not really sure what he's going to be buying with the Void Stone, but I guess an Eel Scepter maybe?
I'm thinking that's a Hex. I'm thinking Mirana's filthy rich, wants to make some sheep.
Just full on YOLO Hex.
I mean, just full on, like, Invoker might be a problem later on. Let's just completely remove him from the game.
We'll see. We'll see. That's a very big item though, so I hope it's going to be an Eels. But either way, looking at the other heroes, we also have the Eldritine having Eels up to himself. He has a Midas. He had like very early in the game and like 2,000 gold on top of that. So this Eldritine is actually insanely rich as well, sitting on the same net worth as the Mirana.
Oh, looks like we may
haven't actually talked too much about him.
Who is this?
the Elder Titan, like the amount of farm Yang has.
I mean,
well.
yeah, he's like dumb farmed. He's been really helping out here. 5-4-11. Just his kill participation alone is amazing. He's been helping out his team so much. So VGR, you can really feel the team communication, whereas sometimes on IG it feels like it's just kind of a little bit of lack of communication. We've seen some RPs not exactly comboed very well into teammate spells, so a little bit of execution issues from IG so far.
Yeah, let's see on the side of IG. I mean, apart from having the initiation tool from the Magnus, Blink as well as the fall stuff, a little bit of damage coming out from the drone and having a diffusal blade now picked up, so the cost-effective agility item making him hit very hard. They still at this point, they're just so far behind that they very much just rely fully on Blink, RP, hit people, and then everyone needs to die. So it's not the easiest thing to aim for, because obviously VGR, they know that the only way they lose right now, the only way they get destroyed in a fight is if they just group up and get hit by a big RP. So as long as they don't let that happen, then they should be fine.
Alright, so now we're seeing IG play from a very defensive position. There is going to be a psionic trap here. Wow, that proc coming out. Five blades are a good spell. But now Arrow is going to connect here. They get what they wanted on the backlines. Templar Assassin takes out the Disruptor. I mean, she is just all in here. There is going to be a Yule's up. Can they go for more? The Stomp coming out. Maboka gets dropped. There will be an Omni Slash, but it barely tickles. Look at Mikasa. She's completely fine. Still up, still fighting. No refraction, no problem. And they're still going through. This could be a GG moment here, as there is going to be an Eclipse dump down. There will be double buybacks, Invoker and Jug. There's a big component of damage coming up, but can the Stomp land? It connects onto both. The Earth Splitter coming out, and there is going to be an RP. Yeah.
Keeping Invoker alive for 2 seconds longer. That's
it makes space. But anyway, the Jug and the Invoker did buy back and will be going down. That's going to be a dieback from both of them. And the GG called out, as it seems like VGR just got an early lead and ran away with this. You let the Luna free farm, you let the Mirana get way too many kills in that off lane, and all of a sudden, this game is unwinnable. So IG, they get one more chance to redeem themselves. What are we going to see changed up for game number 2?
Honestly, I think IG just needs to pick better heroes for the early game, because the thing is, VGR, they picked an Elder Titan as well as a Shadow Demon very early in the draft, so they already showed that they were going to go for like an aggressive laning stage, whereas IG, you pick up on Earthspirit, who's like okay, Disruptor is a very weak laning hero, Juggernaut in an aggressive laning situation doesn't do too well, so just, a little bit more focus in the lanes. And like you said, VGR, they won that offlane pretty much with FY, Mirana, as well as Yang's Elder Titan. So if you win a lane with 2 heroes against 3, and that's the only lane that IG is actually playing well in,